Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video, and today I've got some pop race to show you. Kind of an interesting card art idea or box art idea to kind of cover up your logo with the car. That's new. Pop race, pop race, pop race, pop race. X-Car Toys, X-Car Toys. Not X-Car Toys. I have no idea why that is or what's going on with that, but we got two that have X-Car Toys on them and one that doesn't. This is a brand new tooling. I don't know if these are how new or old these other two are. We're going to do this one last because we have to do a comparison, or just to take a look, see here how it, what it looks like compared to the Mini GT and the Hot Wheels. So we know this Hot Wheels RLC one has gotten quite a bit of flack for its design. We'll talk about that more in a second. And then we've got the Mini GT, which I guess what we would consider the gold standard for this car. Although I think Kyosho might have made one too. I don't have it, but that would have been a while back. Kyosho made one. So I don't have that one to look at, but we do have a Mini GT and we do have the Hot Wheels RLC. I don't have the basic Hot Wheels. The basic Hot Wheels is actually quite nice though. But we're going to get into that in a moment. We're going to take a look at these two first. And we will start with this orange thing. This is a Darwin Pro 66G WBK Supra A90. And I think this is like, I have no idea. I actually don't know anything about the Darwin Pro Supra, but we're going to take a look at it. I got to cut the plastic off here. And tear into that. We're going to take a look at some, if there's licensing on this stuff as well. Just like to know. So this, even though this is a heavily modified Toyota Supra, right, it still appears to be licensed by Toyota. Where was it? Right there. Toyota officially licensed product from Pop Race. So I've been digging Pop Race quite a bit lately. Kind of caught the bug with them a little bit, and I've been getting stuff from Pop Race. I'm not really a stickler for licensing. I know I prefer it to have licensing, but it won't necessarily prevent me from purchasing it if it doesn't. It is nice to see it there. I prefer it, like I said, but, you know, it doesn't necessarily stop me, like I said, as well. So it's a Supra. It's pretty cool. I picked it up because it was cheap and it was on sale on AliExpress. So let's just take a look at this bad boy. It's metal on metal, 1/64 scale. It's got brakes in there. Pretty nifty. And inserted details for headlights. Done in very much a Mini GT quality. I would compare a lot of the Pop Race stuff to. They're metal on metal. They have side mirrors. They have a little one up sometimes on Mini GT in the fact that they have brakes, which is something that's pretty cool. And sometimes they'll have a moving part, which this one does not. They also put the little, sticker, chrome sticker on the backside of the mirror to give it a mirror look. Their mirrors are typically hard plastic, whereas Mini GTs are typically like a soft rubber material, which I like that for Mini GT because it makes them harder to break off. This, if you dropped it on the ground and this hit the mirror, that mirror is gone. It does roll, and it rolls quite smoothly and well. And all in all, not bad looking. It's not really my bag, but again, I picked it up because it was cheap, and I'm like, I'll get an example of that casting. Why not? Next is the Pandem Civic EG6 with this JCCS livery, which looks really cool. This livery is wild. Lots of color to it. Looks really neat. I think I've got one Inno 64 that's got like this livery on it as an actual race car. This, of course, is a Pandem EG6. So I don't know. I don't think it's an actual race car that raced, but whatever. I could be wrong. Is this thing licensed? Well, we got Pandem Civic EG6. Is it licensed by Pandem? Is it licensed by JCCS? Is it licensed by Honda? And it appears that none of those licenses were acquired. So, interesting. I don't see that any were acquired. And you will have that on some Pop Race products. You still got some people claiming, yes, they're licensed, or yeah, if it's a really modified car, you don't need the licensing. Well, I don't know the ins and outs of that, and maybe some of that is true, but I find it to be not likely, just based on some other conversations I've had with some other folks. But again, I don't think Honda's going to go after them for this, but whatever. This is really nicely done, though, I will say. Check it out. Opening hood, VTEC in there. Lots of detail. Detail headlights. That opening hood is fantastic. I almost couldn't even tell it was opening. Really cool. Do you think they got Bridgestone licensing, Potenza, any of that stuff? No, probably not. This would be a difficult car, probably licensed, to be honest with you. And, and that's part of probably why they didn't get it. This is super sick, though. This is really cool. Look at that. Interiors, detailed, roll cage, all that stuff. You can't really, it's hard to kind of see on camera, but there you go. Bucket seat there, that racing seat. It's awesome looking. This thing is really cool. So, liking this quite a bit. Pretty darn cool. That is pretty awesome. So, undeniably cool. Right? I think it's neat. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below, but I'm not usually much of a Civic guy, but this all dressed up like a race car, I think it looks pretty awesome. So, we got that one, and we've got the Supra. Both cars, I generally wouldn't be too crazy about, but I think that these are done very, very well. And I'm guessing that they're very close to actual 1/64 scale based on how these cars compare to each other in size. All right, next, the main event for me, and that is this McLaren F1. Now, this does have McLaren written on it, which leads me to believe that it's probably licensed. And we are going to look for that because I like trying to look for that stuff. Collector's model, I don't see any licensing on it. So this is a stock vehicle. It's not heavily modified. It does say McLaren on it. Checking hazard. I don't know what that QR code does. Collector's model, McLaren F1 orange, made in China. I do not see any McLaren licensing on this product. So, is it licensed? Would it require a license? I would think it would, especially if you're going to use the McLaren name. Not sure here. So we know that the Mini GT is licensed, and we know the Hot Wheels one's also licensed. So I'd imagine, McLaren's not stingy with their licensing. So I'm curious as to why they didn't go for a license on this one. Or if they did use a license, why is it not stated on the package? That's a very interesting move. Okay, here we go. Here it is. It's in this metallic kind of burnt orange color, which is a color for this McLaren. It's a cool color for a McLaren. Got some oil on the window here. So at first glance, looks very much like the Mini GT, right? Here's the Mini GT. Although the Mini GT almost looks like that back wheel's a little small. They definitely made the wheel in the back fit the arch better. As you can see on the Mini GT, it almost looks like it's riding lower than it should. Almost, I don't know, it's weird. It looks like that back tire should have a little bit more thickness. Just kind of does. Now, Mini GT also makes the McLaren F1 car, so that's really cool. Let's take a look at the side mirrors. Hard plastic versus this rubberish material. And again, this time they're painted on the back side, it looks like. Lots of detail in the interior. Mini GT doesn't typically have a lot of painted detail on the interiors of their vehicles. That's a cost-saving feature. So that's why these are cheaper. These are less expensive, I should say, not cheaper, less expensive than Pop Race. But a lot of the good details are all there for both of these models. As you can see in the back there, this one does have the chrome exhaust. This one just has black. McLaren, nice and detailed there. Taillights are done really well. Taillights are done really well on here. McLaren right there, pretty detailed. We got some silver paint in there, which, you know, kind of got a little messy on that particular side. And then is pretty much missing from the other side. So there is that little detail there. Pretty nifty. And they're both pretty good models. It's something with the stance of this one does bother me, though, a little bit. And I think it's just that the way that rear wheel sits. That it might actually be more accurate, but this looks better, I think. No comparison with this. I mean, we shouldn't even... I'm sorry, you know, to the person that designed this. I know there was a lot of effort that was put into this, and I've already ragged on it quite a bit when I first got it. The opening doors, attempting at that, pretty cool. The main line of this car looks better, I think, honestly. All right, so we're going to set that one aside. We don't really care about that one right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the opening feature on this one. And that is really cool. Look at the engine detail in there. Much cooler, I think, than having an opening door, right? Does this little, like, luggage compartment thing open? That would open right on the real car. It would open out, or is that... I don't know. I don't remember. Really cool. It looks like it should. The way it's cut out. Good detail up front, too. But it looks like this compartment should open. Does it shift around a little bit? Kind of does. I don't know. I'm afraid to break it. I'm going to take a little plastic mechanical pencil here and just pry up on that a little bit. Or would it open? No, I don't think it opens. Or does it open? It almost looks like it's hinged in there. I cannot tell. Again, oh, it does. Ha, see, I knew it. Look at that. More exhaust detail, so the exhaust runs all the way down and under like that. How cool is that? That's very neat. Very, very neat. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I think it's really good. Is it the best McLaren F1 casting in existence today? The only thing irritating right now is this back part is not quite shutting flush. It should be like right like that, and it's not. It's popping back up. So that's a little bit irritating, although it does allow you to get a fingernail, well, maybe, under there. I don't know why it's doing that, though. Can never figure that out. But yeah, it doesn't want to sit down exactly flush. If this could sit down exactly flush and be perfect like that without any issues, I would say this is definitely the best McLaren GTR in 1/64 scale. Not GTR, sorry. McLaren F1, not GTR. McLaren F1 is the best McLaren F1 in 1/64 scale, not the GT version. I probably screwed that all up through the whole video now that I'm realizing it. But very, very cool. Will I get another color of this? Probably. Do I wish this would shut down all the way? I do. And maybe there's a trick to getting it to close all the way, but it is popping up there. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Pop Race does continue to impress. I will say that. I do like this model quite a bit. I will get it in another color. The orange does look, I don't know, maybe a little too metal flaky for my taste here on this, being that the metal flake is a little bit too huge. That would be one thing if I had a nitpick. But I don't know. I think it does look a little bit better than the Mini GT, and I love Mini GT. I think, like I said, the main issue, I think, is this back wheel. I think the thicker tire, whatever is more accurate, I'm not sure, but it just makes this look better. Just does. All right, feel free to fight it out in the comments. Let me know what you think. And this will be in the premium import premium/import diecast playlist. So if you want to check that out for more content, I definitely recommend it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.